Hi everybody, it's me, Felicia. Welcome back to my channel. Please excuse the hair that is not behaving and the no makeup, but I really wanted to film some videos today, so right now I'm going to be doing my... I forgot which one I want to do. Today I'm going to be doing my March wrap-up, so let's just get into it. I read a total of 9 books this month, which is pretty good for me. That includes 5 novels and 4 graphic novels, and yes, I do count graphic novels towards my read total. So I'm going to start with the graphic novels. I picked up the first 4 volumes of Amulet. Woo! I got these from my library and I am loving them. I have the 5th book on reserve, and I reserved book 6 and that came in already, so I have book 6, and I'm just waiting for whoever has book 5 to please bring it back to the library so I can read it. Thanks. I love them. Like, I just love these. They are so great, and I don't want to hold all of them. I love the art style. It's beautiful. I love the way that Kazu Kibuishi, he uses colors, and just his technique is just beautiful, and I just love the art, and I think for that alone they're worth reading. But I also love the story. I love the character development. I think that he has done very brilliantly with these characters, Emily and Navin, kind of maturing them in a way that's not unrealistic, but I really just love their strong personalities, and I am very impatient for book 5. Please bring it back already. Yeah, so far every book in this series has been 4 stars. 4 out of 5 for me. So yeah, I really can't wait for volume 5. And volume 6 is just sitting there, it's taunting me, and I hate it. Moving on to the rest of the books. The first book that I finished in March was Tolstoy and the Purple Chair by Nina Sankovich. This is kind of a memoir. No, it is a memoir. So this is a memoir of a year that the author, Nina Sankovich, took in her life to read a book every day for a year. And I wish that I could read a book every day for a year. That would be amazing. So this book kind of goes through how it worked out for her, and she talks about a lot of the books that she read. Each chapter she kind of focuses on a book, and then it has, at the beginning of the chapter, it has just like a quote from the book that she mentions most predominantly that fits in the chapter. She has a different theme for each chapter, but it kind of goes chronologically throughout the year as well. And actually, this is a book about books, but it is also a book about her dealing with her grief. I think about 2 years before she started this project, she lost her sister to cancer. She had a very intense mourning period, and even 2 years later, she's still just completely like overwhelmed by her grief, and she has been just running, keeping busy, trying to distract herself from living with her grief, and then finally she realizes that she has to face it, and so she thinks that she will take a year to read a book every day as a way of slowing down, as a way of facing life, and also kind of like a tribute to her sister, because she comes from a family of readers, and that was one thing that all the family had in common, was their love of books. Each chapter also goes through like memories of her sister, talking about her sister, and also goes through parts of her parents' lives. They were immigrants from Germany and I want to say Poland, or one of the other countries in Eastern Europe, and they moved to the States after World War II. And she talks a lot about her dad's experiences, especially in the war. And I really enjoyed the way that she tied all of these things together. Sometimes I felt like the book was a bit too much like a love story to her sister. Like, just her sister never did anything wrong. She was just completely amazing. And like, yes, I mean, I lost my dad a year and a half ago in November 2013. And yeah, it was hard, and it still sucks to be without him. But I can't relate to the way that the author grieves for her sister, because my experience has been totally different. Yeah, when you lose someone, you tend to just think about all the good things and how good they were, and like how much you love them and everything, and you don't want to say anything bad about them. And that's not even what you're thinking about. But like, she did not say one bad thing about her sister. Like, I was watching for it, and she did not say one negative thing about her sister, like that they fought when they were kids or like anything like that. It was just completely 100% rosy, and I'm like, that is probably not how your relationship was, but I understand that that's how she wanted to immortalize it in this book, I guess. I would probably do the same thing if I was writing about my dad, to be honest. Whatever, that kept it from being that much better of a book, I guess. But I did really enjoy this book. I flew through it. It was very easy writing style. And of course, she's living the dream. She's living the dream we all have. So I gave this 4 out of 5 stars, and I would really recommend it. The next book that I read is Where Rainbows End by Cecilia Ahern. This book is also now being published as Love, Rosie. This is the book that the movie is based on. And I have actually had this book sitting on my shelf for years. I bought it at the thrift store many years ago, probably after I first saw P.S. I Love You, which is a great movie. I love it. So this is a story about Rosie and Alex. They are best friends growing up in Scotland. If you don't know, this book is written in epistle... I don't know how to say this word. Epistolary form. Like letters, emails, text messages. I really enjoy books like that. One of my other hobbies besides reading is writing letters, and so that part was really fun for me. And I love the way that she was able to take a story over the course of... It takes a course over like 40 years or something. It starts when they're quite young, when they're like 6 or 7. Wait, it says in the first chapter how old they are. 7. It's like literally the first sentence. You were invited to my 7th birthday party. It starts when they're 7 and it goes until their late 40s, early 50s, I think. It was a really good story. Cecilia Ahern, she's a really addicting writing style. Like, I just flew through this. I thought that it was really good. I liked that even though the situation that they were in was kind of unrealistic, because it's one of those stories, ships passing in the night, basically, just missed opportunities, and sometimes that was really frustrating. But I did really enjoy this book. I did enjoy the characters, even though sometimes they were being stupid. It's just like, oh my word, can you just be honest for 3 seconds? Like, that would be great, but then this book would be way shorter. So I really enjoyed it, and I would recommend it. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I'm looking forward to watching the movie now. The next book that I read as a buddy read with Samantha from Thoughts on Tomes, and we read Of Neptune by Anna Banks. This is the final book in the Serena Legacy trilogy, which we both really enjoyed, and we were both really excited about reading this book. Yeah, the series up until this point was very good. It was very fun. It didn't really feel stereotypical at all. But this book, unfortunately, went in a direction that I didn't like. I wish that it would have gone in a totally different direction. The characters, they have been so strong and well developed up until this point, the first 2 books, And then all of a sudden in this book, they become just like stupid. And it's like, why are you acting this way? Stop acting stupid. Some of the characters that were introduced in this story, I didn't like. It seemed totally unnecessary. There was a plot point, something that was introduced that could have potentially been major. Like, it seemed like a major plot point. I think if you've read this book, you will know what I'm talking about. It's introduced and then it is never mentioned again. And it's like, what the heck?
What the heck? What the heck? What the heck?
Like, that could have been like a really huge plot twist. And no, she just threw it out there and then that was it. That was the end of it. I was disappointed in it. Not that it wasn't fun to read, but it was just like, what? There's absolutely no point to what is going on in the story. I think that the point that she was trying to make in this book could have been told through a different story, the story that I want. Yeah, I don't know. It was a letdown. Initially I gave it 3 stars, but upon reflection, I would maybe give it 2.5. And not because the writing was bad, but just because it seemed like it wasn't even part of the same series that I was reading before. I think that you could just read the first 2 books. Read it as a duology. That would be good too. So it'd be up to you. I'm the kind of person I need closure, so I had to finish it. It was just really disappointing. So that's that. The next book that I finished was When You Reach Me by Rebecca Stead. This is Akas's traveling book, and I was very happy to take part in this. I will leave a link to her channel down below. I was the fourth person to receive this book, and I will be sending it to Tiffany at the Crafty Home. I will link her down below as well. This is a middle grade book, so I don't read much middle grade. I haven't in a while anyway, and like, I loved this. This blew me away. Like, this is 5 stars. It was wonderful. This is a story about Miranda, and she is in, I think she's in grade 6. And she lives in New York City in the 1970s, I think late 70s. And she lives with her mom, and her mom is going to be a contestant on the $20,000 pyramid. And so the story starts off from there. The story is told through her writing somebody a letter about the events that are happening and events that happened in the past. And like, I just loved it. It was amazing. I love the characters in this story. There were so many positive adult figures. Like, they were all super solid, and I just appreciated that so much, that she had so much positive adult influence in this story. Like, that was like my favorite part. So this is a traveling book, so we all wrote like our thoughts in there, and I think like most of us have written something about how awesome this adult is, or this adult is. Like, it's just awesome. And so I really enjoyed it. I definitely would recommend this, even if you don't read middle grade. Like, this is a wonderful story, and the writing is just fabulous. I tried to draw a picture at the beginning, and that was just like, nope, I screwed that up, so I'm not going to do that anymore. I loved it. I definitely recommend it. 5 out of 5. The last book that I read, finally finished Never Fade by Alexandra Bracken. This is the second book in the Darkest Minds trilogy, and I really enjoyed it. I have been, so far I'm a fan of the series and where she's taking it. I really like her writing. There's one thing, I did mention this with The Darkest Minds, and it still continued, is that sometimes in more of the action-y sequences, I felt like things would skip around a bit. And just in that, I think she, probably when she was writing, she saw the things happening in her mind, and she didn't write enough description about it, and so sometimes I would get lost. I'd be like, wait, why is she punching that person? Where did that person come from? I thought there was only that guy standing over there. And so sometimes that was confusing. And yeah, it still persisted in this book. Not like that's a huge complaint. It's just like sometimes I had to go back and reread a paragraph because I'm like, wait, where does this person come from? Or like, what? When did this happen? And so, yeah, I enjoyed the characters. I've heard some people they don't like the new characters that are introduced, and I think they take some warming up to. I didn't like them at first, but by the end of the book I did like them, and I really enjoyed some of the plot twists, and there was a twist at the end that I didn't anticipate, and I am looking forward to see where that goes in the last book. I also need to pick up the novellas. I really enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying this series. I am not tired of dystopian fiction at all yet, so I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I'm looking forward to reading the last book. I don't know if I will read it in April, but hopefully in May I will. So that's all the books that I read in March, and if you have read any of these books, please let me know your thoughts about them down below. I just want to say hi to all of my new subscribers. Yeah, so I will see you again soon with another video. So bye!